A lot of people ask me, Beef, should I pull on this banner? Is it worth spending my Dragon Stones on this banner? To which I usually reply, not really. So, it's been a while. I know I said on Twitter that I'm not playing this game anymore, but a few people convinced me to come back to it, give it another try. So here we are. Excuse me, I'm a little stuffy this morning. I got too much stuff to do later on, so I can't really wait until I'm a little less stuffy. So you'll just have to deal with it for now. But welcome to the 350 million download celebration. A little underwhelming, but hopefully the units aren't as underwhelming. Luckily, I had a quick glance over the units and everything before we started, at least the new ones, and they all look pretty good. Got a lot of LRs to sift through. A lot of them are featured on this banner, so some of you are probably going to be swimming in LRs, especially if you plan to spend any decent amount of Dragon Stones on these banners. As you can see, they are buy 3 get 1 free summons. Actually, buy 4. Anyway, you buy several summons, you get 1 free. Pretty sure that just basically goes on for the entirety, like the 16 days that this is going on for. But these banners dropped not too long ago. 1 for Boo, 1 for Vegito, because, you know, we're too worried that we might not get first place. We gotta have a Vegito unit every time. So anyway, let's go ahead and start from the top here. You got to see a lot of interesting guys, except for this TN here. He's just kind of like, he's chilling out. He's like, hey, what's up? Alright, open up the scouter. The first unit is, of course, the jackpot unit. That's pretty par for the course for a lot of these banners. As you can see, it's another dual unit. It's Goku and Vegeta, Angel. And once you get LR, see the little Super Vegeta here in the back. Super Vegeta here in the background. It's basically a somewhat better version of the LR Intelligence one that also becomes Super Vegeta. Let's go ahead and open up our handy dandy SSR window so we can get a closer look at this unit. So pretty par for the course, excuse me, in terms of leader skill, in terms of super attack, especially for an LR. Battle of Wits, probably should have looked at that category before I started, but I mean, I can't imagine it's going to be a big deal. Majin Buu Saga category, you could probably pretty easily find a way to slot him into a Majin Buu Saga category team. But let's not lie to each other. The reason why we want to pull Vegito is because of Potara. So we can toss him into Potara teams. Also, a lot of the fusions were placed on Pure Saiyans. The Gojitas and the Vegitos were placed on Pure Saiyans. So those teams are pretty much going to be like Potara Light. depending on what you have, especially if you pull these. But a lot of these categories are about what you'd expect. Same with Kamehameha, Super Saiyans. This unit's probably going to find its way onto all those categories because it's just that good. So going back up a little bit. Attack and defense plus 120%, pretty par for the course. Reduces damage by 30%, which is nice. Get key plus 1 per type key sphere obtained, so it's pretty easy to get this guy launching his 18 plus key attack, which raises attack and defense by 1 turn. Let's see, 30%. That's pretty good, actually. 30% no matter what. Mega colossal damage. That's par for the course for LRs, but the fact that he's going to be launching a lot of 18 keys, that's great. You're going to be doing a lot of damage. Medium chance of launching an additional super attack. I think that's like a 30%, 25%, something like that. I think the high, when they use the high descriptor, it's 50%, I believe. It's been a little while. A lot of this stuff isn't up in the old noodle anymore, but here we are anyway. Luckily, they learned their lesson from the, I think it was 250 mil, 300 mil, the one that had the LR Gohan and the LR Cell, and those extremely convoluted transformation requirements. Not here, not with this LR. 77% HP or below, starting from the fourth turn of from the start of battle. Not at all difficult to meet those requirements. Not at all difficult. In a lot of cases, because you're going to be transforming Vegito, and especially in longer battles, you're going to be transforming him into Vegito. This information isn't really super important. What is super important is when he becomes Super Vegito. His super attacks don't really seem to change much at all. It raises attack and defense for a turn, causes colossal, mega colossal damage. That's normal for LRs. He does a little bit of what the intelligence Super Vegito does, in that he recovers HP, but it's only 50% HP. So that's sort of a downgrade from the intelligence Super Vegito, but he gets a lot of special things, sort of as a trade-off. Attack and defense comes up 30% to 150%. Medium chance of performing a critical hit. I believe that's like an extra 20% or so, again, like we said. So that's really good. You'll be pumping out a lot of critical hits with this unit. So in that case, you could probably focus most of his abilities into additional attack instead of critical hit if you wanted to. He also counters. That's pretty par for the course for Super Vegito units. It'd be weird to have a Super Vegito unit that didn't counter. You get a additional key, +1 per type sphere, key sphere obtained. That's just like the previous unit, so it's a nice little bonus. Lots of 18 keys getting tossed out there. Really good. You get an additional key +5, and you get to foresee enemy super attack for 10 turns from start of turn. I don't know if that is a benefit that happens when he's not in the rotation. I'm going to assume it is. If it is, wow, that's really good. If it's not, not as handy, but still can be kind of useful in moving your units around as needed, depending on if a super attack is coming. Excuse me. So, Link skills, you can see here, the ones that are bolded is what he gets, I believe, based on? Yeah, okay. I was like, am I going crazy? No. So he gets Super Saiyan, Power Bestowed by God, Fuse Fighter, Kamehameha. Fuse Fighter, Super Saiyan, Power Bestowed by God, Kamehameha. That's pretty normal, pretty par for the course. Prepared for Battle is a good one. Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. You see those on a lot of units, so those are stuff that'll be activated quite a bit. So throwing this unit on like Pure Saiyans, Potara, you are going to be doing quite well. This is an extraordinarily good unit, and there's a reason why we call it the Jackpot unit. Categories don't change, so nothing to worry about there. But for the most part, you're probably just going to be using this unit on Pure Saiyans now. Maybe Joined Forces, Super Saiyans, Kamehameha. It's mostly going to be Potara and Pure Saiyans, which is fine. But if you're missing, if you need a good unit for basically any of these categories here, then obviously you're gonna find a way to slot Super Vegito in there. He's just that good. All right, turning off the handy dandy SSR viewer. Next up on the list is a unexpected new addition, but definitely welcome. It's a physical TN. Handy dandy SSR viewer again. So he has Earthlings category, HP, attack, and defense plus 120%. Basically, anybody that's an Earthling is going to be on that particular category. Not amazing, but I'm hoping that this particular TN sort of ushers in a wave of new Earthling units, a wave of new Krillin units, wave of new Yamcha units, stuff that should be interesting. That'll encourage you to try like a niche category like Earthlings, because why would you use Earthlings over Kamehameha, Pure Saiyans, Fusion, Potara, literally almost anything else? But what's important about this unit is that he is not really an attacker so much as he's a supporter. But even though he's not much of an attacker, look at that shit. It's crazy. Key +3, attack and defense plus 150%. They just handing that to this man. They're handing this to Tien, of all people. And I think he's probably like the best Tien in the game now. Sad to say. At least, you know, just Tien is in plain old Tien by himself. He gets a plus an additional attack 70% when performing a super attack, which is even crazier. This guy's going to do some crazy damage on your when he shows up on your rotation. It's like he's probably still going to float, but when he comes out, he's not going to be putting out them small numbers. Majin Buu Saga category superclass allies attack plus 30% and defense plus 50%. I don't know about you, but that's really good. If you're running a Majin Buu Saga category team, you're gonna want this unit on there, because that's really that's pretty crazy for a supporter. High chance of stunning the attacked enemy. That's 50%. You flipping a coin to stun people with this Tien. Not as useful in some of the long, drawn-out fights like Super Battle. Well, actually, be quite useful for Super Battle Road, where applicable. But where applicable, where you can stun, to be able to flip a coin to stun somebody, that's wild. Super wild. So, super good. Link skills, you're not going to be using a lot of his links, unfortunately. I mean, how many units have Crane School? Not many. Experienced fighters? A few, but not many. Solid support, Cold Judgment, Courage, Z Fighters, not so much. Fierce Battle is probably the link that you're going to see the most pop up. These link skills are clearly leaning more towards utilizing his category than it is utilizing his usefulness as a supporter. So, you're going to use him in Majin Buu Saga teams, you're going to be using him in Earthlings category teams, but beyond that, it's hard to justify putting him on worthy rivals or saviors. But the categories are there. If you see that you could toss him in there and it's feasible for you to do so, I mean, go for it, but that's unlikely. Very unlikely. But great supporter. Fits in great with Earthlings, like we said, so good to go. Great Tien unit. I would definitely call it a jackpot unit. Maybe not as jackpot unit as this guy, but if you pull this guy, you could definitely pull worse units on this banner. Although, actually, now that I think about it, I think this is probably the worst unit on the banner, and that's saying something considering how good a card this is. All right, moving on. We don't have any more SSR Finder window stuff to go for this particular banner, but we are moving on to the next unit. Good old LR Cell. This was the, I think with, like I said, 300 million, 250, 300 million, something like that, I forget. But he came out with the LR Gohan. I don't know why he's on this banner in particular, but even though his transformation requirements are stupid, I'm trying to see. Oh, it doesn't really say. Why does it only say evolve when HP is 30% or less? I could have swore there's more to it. But anyway, getting him to transform is kind of rough. Very, very rough. But even if you don't transform him like the LR Gohan, he's still extremely useful. He's still going to do a lot of damage. He's still going to be useful on the teams that you can throw him onto. Oh, okay. Alright. But he has a lot of teams. You're probably not going to throw him on Kamehameha. Although you might if you have LR Gohan. just to make it so he transforms. But Android, Cell Saga, Artificial Life Forms, Transformation Boost, Kamehameha, Target, Goku, Revenge, Resurrected Warriors. Those are all solid teams for this unit. He's really not that bad. So I would definitely call it a jackpot card. Even the bad LRs are still spectacular units, and this is a great example of that in particular. All right, moving on. Another LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku agility. I mean, if you've been around a while, you've seen how good this particular unit is. His leader skill, not so much. Goku's family, Super AGL. You can find a use for those. Various SBRs, stuff like that. Super AGL. Assuming you haven't actually completed them and you need like an actual leader, you don't have one. This is another great unit. His active skill does a ton of damage. Extremely good LR. There's really not much to say here. Another jackpot card. It's featured. So if you pull this, you're good to go. If you've never had it before, you're looking for dupes, you're probably gonna pull one. It's good odds, good odds. So the Intelligence Super Vegito, this is a much older unit. The slightly inferior version to the Strength one. Even if you pull this instead of the Strength one, this is still a spectacular unit for obvious reasons. Potara category leader, I think basically the best one in the game. Really no reason to not celebrate pulling this particular unit. Especially because he fully heals when he transforms into Super Vegito. So very good unit. You definitely want to pull this guy. This Bardock, I would say, is probably like a step below Tien. It's an older unit. Not that great. Revenge or low class warrior categories. How often are you going to use those categories? Very infrequently. Very infrequently, but his passive is pretty good. Attack and defense, 120%. You throw in some more low-class warrior category allies with him. He does even more damage, which is really good. Attacks effective against all types when there's a wicked bloodline category enemy. Just like Frieza, King Cole, Cooler. You're not really gonna see a ton of those. So it's a part of his passive that you're not going to see activated very often. It's just a shame, but it's what it is. Super Saiyan 2 Goku Angel, another really good unit. Why is he Super Saiyan 3 category? Does he he transforms, that's right. It's been a while since I've seen this unit. So he transforms into Super Saiyan 3. God, you see how prepared I am for this, and I'm totally not prepared. He's still pretty good. Extremely long passive skill. I don't think we really need to talk about it, but I mean, just looking at what this particular unit has, really good. So I don't know if I'd call him a jackpot unit, but you can definitely pull worse units than this guy. This is an oldie but a goodie. The transforming Goku goes Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. I believe Super Saiyan God as well. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. Pretty good. He still holds up. You might, unless you're like the greenest of newbies, you're probably not going to be using this unit a lot. Just simply because he's not super spectacular. This is one of those units that you kind of like stuff into a team like Kamehameha or Super Saiyans or something, just because you don't have anything better at the time. But I mean, he'll pull his weight if you don't have anything better, but he's definitely one of those units that you replace as soon as possible on applicable teams when you have all the other slots filled out with like really good units. The OG physical Super Vegito came after the AGL one. Still a really good unit. You probably already know about him. I'm probably no reason for me to talk about it, but he's here. Wouldn't really call him a jackpot card, but you can definitely pull, you could pull Bardock instead, and then you can cry. Excuse me. But you can definitely do worse than Super Vegito. The AGL Super Vegito as well. With his EZA, like, just baseline without his EZA, he's not that great. With his EZA, on the other hand, is wow, super good, super amazing unit with his EZA. So if you can get, if you're at the point where you haven't pulled this particular Vegito yet, but you can grind his EZA, once you EZA him, he's probably. It's tough to replace him on a Potara team. He's just that good. Only reason why you would use, like, say, this guy instead of this guy would be simply because you don't have this guy EZA. So it's going to be interesting when they finally EZA this guy. It's coming, I assume, in like a year or two, probably. But it's definitely coming. I assume he'll just be better than the AGL one. The rest of these featured units, if you can even call them featured units, or like TN units, Goku units, blah, so it's whatever. They toss that crap in there just to make you cry. So the Vegito Dokkan Festival banner, spectacular, really good. Like, you know, it's a really good banner when the worst units are TN and Bardock, and those are still decent units. Wouldn't call all, again, I wouldn't call all the units on that particular banner, wouldn't call them jackpot cards, but there's a lot of jackpot cards, and they're all featured. There's also, I mean, I would assume that a lot of the rest of the LRs are on there, but the odds of you actually pulling them are pretty low, so if you pull LRs on these banners, expect them to be the featured LRs. And you've got good odds to pull at least a 1. So, if you do, congratulations. If you don't, well, better luck next time. We're probably not going to get a Dokkan Festival with a banner as good as this for quite some time. So, definitely a 10 out of 10 banner. You can definitely do worse than this. Alright, moving on to the Buhan, Bukalo, Butanks Dokkan Festival. You can see there's a lot of units here, sort of gives you a little bit of an idea of what there is to expect. If you are not a greenhorn newbie to the game, then you're going to recognize a lot of these units as good units. But we will get into that as we continue. So, the first unit we get is LR Majin Buu Gotenks, otherwise known as Butanks. So we're going to go ahead and pop open the Hand It Any SSR window here. So, Majin Power as a category is basically, I want to use Majin Buu, and I want a whole full team of nothing but Majin Buu. So, that's Majin Power for you. Category key plus 4 HP, 130%, but attack and defense plus 170%, so great. Power absorption, I assume, is like cell, stuff like that. Actually, let's take a quick peek at this bad boy. Oh, they don't even have it filled out yet. Never mind. People slacking off at the Dokkan Battle Wiki. It's a shame. Pretty par for the course in terms of LR, in terms of damage. Colossal, Mega Colossal, that's par for the course. One raises attack, one raises defense. You're probably going to want to use the 18 key anyway, because it's going to do more damage, but the attack boost seems to be quite nice for at least 30%. 30% for both attack and defense, depending on which one you use, so especially for longer stuff like SPR, Legacy Goku, stuff like that, you're gonna want the 18 key. One of the things I find fun about Majin teams is a lot of them have basically free HP healing. So this one does 12 HP at the start of the turn. Like, imagine you've just got like several of these units and they're all rotating in, and you're getting like 30%, 40%, 50% HP back just through like HP absorption, just the passive recover from the start of the turn. It's pretty wild. It's definitely wild. Attack and defense plus 120%. again, it's pretty par for the course. Key +1 per type key sphere obtained. You probably, if you've been paying attention to the Vegito passive, you probably see that there's a bit of a trend there in terms of the LRs. Medium chance of launching an additional super attack, 20%, 30%, something like that. Yeah, 25%. So pretty good. Pretty good. Like, you're probably not going to get a ton of extra super attacks out of him, but it'll show up enough that it'll affect his damage in the long run. You'll probably get at least 1 or 2, maybe 3, 4 extra supers on a long run. Absorption active skill. Absorbs ultimate Gohan can be activated when HP is 50% or more starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle. Not at all difficult to activate that particular active skill, so very useful. And then speaking of absorbing ultimate Gohan, you're probably going to be seeing this guy a lot. Maybe not as much as the Boo tanks, but you're going to be seeing this guy a lot. His super attack doesn't really change much, but he loses the defense boost for the attack boost. If the defense boost stacks and you're using 18 keys the whole time, he's probably going to be quite tanky when you get him to Buhan level. He loses a little bit of HP recovery, but 2%. Are you really gonna miss 2%? He gets 30% extra attack and defense as a bonus. Launches an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super attack. So again, he still has that 25%. Key +1 per key sphere obtained. So he kind of exchanges that key +1 for type spheres. And no matter what you pick up, it's going to count as double. So if you're picking up physical key spheres, you're going to be launching his 18 key ultimate cannon attack quite a bit. From 5 turns from first appearance, he gets key +5, making it even easier to use 18 key attacks. And seals the super attack of the attacked enemy. It's only for 5 turns. So you're going to want this guy in your main rotation in order to take maximum advantage of that extra little benefit. You're probably not going to be sealing a lot of super attacks, but where applicable, it'll be kind of useful. But I don't see that being that great. Anybody who's been listening to these sorts of synopsis, like analysis videos, knows that I'm not a fan of them slapping stuns and super attacks on units, just because there's a lot of endgame content where these units just don't show up until the enemies get stun and seal immunities. So at that point, it's like, what's the point? Any long-term stuff that you go into where this guy's going to show up, you're probably not in any danger of dying anyway, where you'll actually need stuns and like super attack sealing. So it's kind of pointless. The only link that he gets is big bad bosses when he transforms, so, which is really good. I think it's like, gosh, was it Fear and Faith? I think, yeah. So he exchanges Fear and Faith for big bad bosses, which is a considerably better link regardless. The rest of these links, he shares a lot of these with other Majin units, so again, more healing, more attack and defense. For the most part, you're probably only going to be running him on like Majin Buu Saga teams, Majin Power, Power Absorption, Artificial Life Forms. You could probably make an argument to throw this guy in a Transformation Boost. But it feels like, I mean, I've always been of the mind of saying that Majin Buu units are better run together, just because they all play off each other really well. It's sort of like cooler units. Like, it's not like Super Saiyan units or just normal Saiyan units, where you can just like cluster them together and they all link together great and they all do really good. There's just no reason, in my opinion, to run this unit outside of like Majin units. So it is what it is. It's still an extremely good card. I just wouldn't say it's better, or I wouldn't say it's better than the Super Vegito, but it's still really good. Because again, even the bad LRs are still good units in this game. So moving on, we're gonna shut down the SSR window. Yeah. All right. Swapping over to the next unit, it's another new unit. It's a Majin Buu Piccolo unit. He's actually, if I remember correctly, he's actually pretty good. So we're gonna bust open that SSR screen again. Power absorption category, key +3, HP attack and defense plus 120%. So if you don't, for whatever reason, pull the LR Buu tanks, and you get this guy, and you want to run a power absorption team, there you go. You got a pretty good boost there. Supreme damage, pretty normal for TUR. High chance of stunning the enemy. That's basically a coin flip. He's the TN of power absorption, as you can see. Recovers 50% HP at the start of the turn, which is really nice. Again, you run him with a Majin team, you're probably not going to have too much trouble with HP. Key +3 and attack and defense plus 150%. 150%, that's wild. Absolutely wild for a TUR. Like, you don't see that very often. Power absorption category allies, attack plus 30% and defense plus 50%. So again, he's a power absorption supporter. Medium chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack. That's 25%, yeah, something like that. 20, 25, 30%. Link skills, not that great, unfortunately. He's sort of the TN of the group. Like, he's going to still activate some links with other Majin units, but those links basically relegate this unit to only power absorption and like Majin power teams. So he's still gonna do a lot of damage. He's still pretty tanky, but his utility outside of power absorption and Majin power is very, very low, unfortunately. Majin power absorption. If you're running like a bunch of Buu units on artificial life forms, so why not throw them on there? Transformation boost and Majin Buu Saga. You're probably not gonna run a Majin Buu Saga with like just plain Majins, so just run them on like any other team. Like, you're gonna be running like Vegetos and Gotenks and stuff on Majin Buu Saga, not this particular Buu, but he's pretty good. He's the TN of power absorption. So I'm reluctant to call it a jackpot card, but if you have a lot of Majin units and you want to run those Majin units together, you could definitely do worse than this particular unit. He's excuse me. He's going to do quite a bit of damage. He's quite tanky. Recovers HP. What more could you possibly want in a Majin power team or power absorption team? All right. That was pretty much the last SSR window unit that we're going to be looking at. The rest of them are sort of like basically the antithesis of the other banner. So LR Gohan, probably not much to say. He's like the LR Cell that we were talking about in the previous banner. Basically, he doesn't transform unless there's a Android Saga unit on the team. So luckily, if you happen to pull LR Cell and you pull this guy as well, those two pretty much basically go on the same team together. So you can have this guy transform and make him even better. Nice art, looks good, does a ton of damage. He's basically a superior version of the Intelligence Gohan, just harder to bring out. But if you're willing to build a team around him and bring out the best of this particular unit, it's definitely worth it. Not much to say here that hasn't already been said by a million other people, so we're moving on. The Strength Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Another spectacular LR that you could possibly get. His active skill is quite good. His stats extremely good. He's like the normal TUR, the normal TUR Super Saiyan 4 is the Agility Vegeta Super Saiyan 4, the Strength Goku Super Saiyan 4, but they're better. They do more damage. The active skill is crazy. It's basically free damage. What's not to like about these particular units? Except for the fact that you can't really run these units on, like, every team that shows up. Like, you can make an argument to put this Agility Super Saiyan 4 Goku LR onto a Kamehameha team because he meshes well with that. But this Vegeta has a little less utility. But there are a lot of teams where you can put him into that he's going to do quite well. Like Vegeta's family, probably full power. Oh wow, I thought he had more categories. I don't know why there's so few. Vegeta's family, Shadow Dragon Saga is a given, but you're probably not going to run those too often. Pure Saiyans is probably where you're going to get the most use out of this particular unit. I thought he had way more categories than that, but apparently not. But Pure Saiyans, there's literally zero reason not to run this particular unit on Pure Saiyans. Unless you just somehow happen to have every other possible LR Pure Saiyans and you don't want to run this guy. I don't know why you wouldn't. But definitely a jackpot card. Even if he's probably not the best LR on this list. The OG physical Gogeta, it's basically the same as the Super Vegito, the LR Super Vegito, the intelligence one, the older one. This is in the same batch. Heals you up, does a ton of damage, fusion leader. Again, there's not a lot to say that hasn't already been said about this particular unit already. It's just really good. If you pull him, congratulations, good card, good unit. You can definitely do worse. The Strength Cooler. This is a unit that hasn't shown up a whole lot. When he transforms, he's extremely good. The only problem is that his transformation can only be activated when there's a Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans category enemy starting from the 3rd turn from the start of battle. Excuse me. He's really strong. He's gonna do a lot of damage for you. But he's sort of that niche character. You're mostly gonna be using him on like Wicked Bloodlines. Maybe transformation boost if you don't have anything better. Again, wouldn't call it a jackpot card, but it's you won't cry if you get this guy, especially if you don't have him rainbowed or you don't have him at all. This particular card opens up a lot of possibilities, especially for newbies. So not a ton of possibilities, but it does open a couple doors. Not a ton, but a few. Moving on, we have the Tech Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. Just like the Super Saiyan 2 Goku, really, really strong. Not much else to say about him. Oh, because Majin Vegeta, that's right, I forgot about that. So it's like the other unit that the Goku that goes Super Saiyan 3, but this guy goes Majin Vegeta. Definitely not a bad unit to pull. Does quite a bit of damage. The passive is a little convoluted, so we're not going to talk about it because I don't want this video to go much longer than it already has. This unit, it's basically the transforming Goku, but it's a transforming Vegeta. Goes from Super Saiyan to all the way up to Super Saiyan Blue. So he's still good unit, but he doesn't have the same utility as the Goku does, so nah. I mean, in terms of the particular batch of cards that transform or return into something a little bit better, I prefer the Frieza ones. The Frieza ones are just way better, in my opinion. This is a card, this Super Buu is a unit that's not that great. The concept behind the unit, a unit that, based on where your HP is, you transform into different kinds of units. I think it's an awesome mechanic. The stats and the skills don't really line up though. But if you're running a Majin team and you need something to fill in a gap, perhaps, this is a really good unit to have still. Like, he's still gonna do good damage. He's just not going to win any awards. But he's still fairly good for what he does. And he'll fill in a gap in like a Majin Power team that you need filled. So definitely not a bad unit to have. Definitely not a jackpot unit, but definitely not bad to pull this guy, especially if you don't have him already. So Intelligence Buhan, another one of those units that gets much better when you EZA the particular unit. Not much to say here. I wouldn't really call this guy a jackpot unit because he's shown up a billion times. If you don't have this guy rainbowed yet, that's mind-blowing. Like, the only people that aren't gonna have this guy rainbowed yet are like greenhorn newbies just showing up, just launching this game for the first time. People who have been playing for a little while but like haven't really pulled him yet, or haven't pulled a bunch of them yet. If you've been playing for a long period of time, the odds of you having rainbowed this guy is exponential, just simply for the fact that he's everywhere. He's been everywhere since his inception. His EZA makes him really good, but even with his EZA, power creep has not been kind to this unit. He'll still be good on a Majin power team, especially if you don't have anything better. And I don't know why they put the ghost in there. They didn't just call him Majin Buu and Ghost, but you're probably not going to use him over this guy. Although now that I think about it, you can use this guy and you can use the Intelligence Buhan as well, because they start out completely different names. So you can slap them on a team together and it doesn't matter. The odds of you actually needing to put this unit into a Majin power team is kind of low, so it is what it is. The rest of these units are just basically SRs. This one happens to become a Buu Tank's UR, but his passive's not great. His leader skill isn't good. He only does extreme damage. The only reason you would possibly bother with these units at all is just simply that you want to fill in a blank. Like, not even fill in a blank, because they're not even good for Majin power teams. I'm sorry, I had a little lapse of thought there. These are trophy units, hands down. Until these guys get like EZAs one day, which I wouldn't hold my breath. If they didn't EZA these guys for this particular 350 million downloads celebration, they're probably not going to do it ever. These guys have just gone on by the wayside. But they're there. If you want to grind them up, get them in there, get them in your boxes, trophies, go for it. But otherwise, I wouldn't bother. So yeah, that's it. We'll do, we're gonna do a multi, probably a couple multis on both banners here just to close things out and see if we get anything hype. Not holding my breath because my luck is extremely poor. But we're gonna do a few. Get me some much needed water for my disappointment. I'm excited to get nothing this multi. Oh, okay, well, we get an SSR, but God only knows what it is. I'm not holding my breath for anything good because we didn't get any good animations. Alright, come on, show me my SSR, damn it. I knew it was gonna be something bad. Intelligence hit, like, the tech hit is a million times better in every single way. Physical Super Vegito, I need some dupes for this guy, so I'll take it. I could have definitely did worse than those. Let's go ahead and lock these bad boys up real quick. I mean, I'd prefer the LR, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Beerus. I don't see him that often. No Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's looking bleak, boys. I would assume that if we're gonna get an LR, we were gonna get like a good animation, but this is looking like a this is looking like, yeah. I think this dupe makes her rainbow now. Boy, oh boy. All right, let's leave this alone for now. We're gonna go to the boot tanks one. So far, not that great. I thought nobody was gonna show up there for a second. I'm like, boy, that's my luck. Nobody wants to show up to these pulls. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 SSRs, yeah, that one. They need to just remove R's from this game. Like, what's the point? Gross. I think I had this guy rainbowed already. Lovely. Well, that's my luck, folks. Come on. I'd like to get something interesting beyond physical Vegito. Ooh. No. I was gonna say, are we gonna get a... Oh! Nice, nice. I'd prefer Vegito Blue, but I'll take plain old Vegito, I guess. Oh! Long Kamehameha. Nice. Gonna get something good? Probably not. I could use a Doom for this guy. I'd have preferred something better, but yeah, sure. I don't know if I have him rainbowed or not. If I don't, I think this probably rainbows him. Alright, what other disappointing schlock are we gonna get? I know we have at least 1 SSR left. I don't have any dupes for this guy, so I mean, I guess it's okay. I guess I'll take it. Let's go ahead and lock up what we got. I just don't see myself using this unit at all. Let's continue this disappointment train. We'll do the last 2 multis on both of these banners just because why the hell not? We're here, right? I don't think I get anything out of that. Well, rainbow. It's okay, I guess. One of these days we'll actually get like a hype animation. One day. Probably not today, but one day. Why give me Super Saiyan 3 Goku if it's just the SSR at the end? And it's a crappy one too. Come on. That's my luck, folks. And people wonder why I quit playing Dokkan for a while. Like, these are my multis. These are always my multis. Alright, well, at least we get the free beam. So if we get shafted on this one, at least we'll get something decent. Well, not something decent. If we get shafted on this one, at least I spent no Dragon Stones to get shafted on it, so that's what I meant to say. all Super Saiyan 3 Gokus all the time. Where's Super Saiyan God Goku? Can I have something decent for once, please? That's all I ask. I want an LR, damn it. I just can't get LRs to save my life. At least I don't have him. I don't know why I bother with this fucking game anymore, I swear. I mean, we got a couple of new units. I don't have this one, and I don't have this one. So, I mean, I guess that's okay. I think I have the Agility Super Vegito rainbowed already. So that's worthless to me. Oh, boy. I don't know if I want to bother. Don't think we're getting anything good. another Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Is this the only animation that exists in this fucking game? I just don't get it. Do not understand. I cannot grasp. I just cannot fathom. All right, well, it's at least one of the featured units that's decent. I mean, I guess I'll take it. Shoot, man. I don't ask for much, man. And it's a bad Golden Frieza! What is this luck? It's terrible. I'm gonna fucking cry. I'm gonna cry on video. This is terrible. What are you looking at, dog? Alright. I don't think my morale could be any lower at this point. I didn't even get Super Saiyan 3 Goku. All right, just give me my pity SSR and get the fuck out of here. Okay, well, you've got another glimpse of the famous Chunky Beef horrific fucking luck. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I'm gonna go cry myself a fucking river. Cry myself to sleep or something. Oh wait, it's like 7:40 in the morning, but it is what it is. Well, I hope you guys have better luck with your pulls than I had on my pulls. I might do some off video and just hope and pray I get something decent, but my hopes are not high, to say the least. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. That is Dokkan. RNG is a cruel mistress. But anyway, like I said, hope you guys have better pulls than I do. Have a wonderful day.